There we go, Oliver Evans takes qualifying at the moment, but we've still got 3 drivers to go. Up next, Ricky Lawrence. Yeah, he has jumped into the borrowed car of Willie Hanna, and you can see Ricky Lawrence having problems with the prop shaft. You noticed it earlier? I think
it was some sort of transmission problem we had earlier on. Obviously couldn't get the parts for it, so Willie Hanna's just been ever so nice and said, I'll tell you what, just drive mine.
He certainly has. Well, he sits on the line now, the garage site manager from Aberdeenshire. Would be driving his S13 1V, but now jumps into Willie Hanna's Nissan Skyline R33, comes off the line, and well, Ricky Lawrence, championship hanging in the balance. He could points potentially take the championship still. Oh, well, he's having big issues. He's having big issues with that car, handbraking in a lot of areas, Sarah. This is not looking good for Ricky Lawrence at the moment.
It's not. But then he is in a borrowed car. You know, it does take time to get used to the car. It's going to drive a bit different to his own. So he's having a difficult job out there. He's got a big task ahead of him.
He certainly is, and he needs to get a score to get inside that top 24 to keep that championship alive. And as you say, in a borrowed car, not easy at all. And Ricky Lawrence, 3rd place at the moment in the championship, so he's going to be desperate to get as many points as he can. And look, if he goes out now this weekend and someone else climbs above him, it's going to be dangerous. It's going to be dangerous for his championship.
That's it. It's a big moment for him, isn't it, to keep, up there on the championship points table.
Well, there we go. Oh, wow, he's way down. Yes. He's at 20 for his first qualifying score. He sits in 22nd position. We're moving along to our 2nd points championship place driver, and that will be Aramis Vaskalis, the crazy man. The Lithuanian lunatic comes to the line from the lunatic school. The mechanic from East London in the BMW E46 M3 with an M3 S54 under the bonnet. Turbo and just a mere 1,000 horsepower, representing Powerful Force Limited, Stronghold Security Doors Limited, Litcraft Limited, #1 in any car accident claims. So there we go. Got plenty of sponsors on the side of the car. Can he do it? Can he hold the championship together? He didn't qualify at the previous round at the NEC. Can he get this one done? Can he get one in the bag? Can he reclaim those lost points? Big clutch kick initiation for Skellis now as he comes into outside zone 1. He lets that car wash very wide into outside zone 2 in a good line now, and he's going to sacrifice 3. Yeah, comes up a little bit short, and you can see he noticed that. It threw him ever so slightly as he had to make himself get back onto that qualifying line as Vaskelis on throttle very early into outside zone 7, looking good as the Lithuanian fires that car into the final few outside zones, puts the foot down, unleashes 1,000 horsepower and brings it across the line with and makes some noise for Aramis Vaskelis.
Yeah, the crowd are obviously liking that one. We can hear him from the tower.
I'll tell you why, because just literally 20 foot from us is the whole Lithuanian contingency. And then we're making plenty of noise today as scores dropping in. I don't think that's going to be as good as what Vaskelis would have hoped for, but it is. It's up there. The judges liked it. The score drops in at a 72. A 72 for Vaskelis drops him into 3rd position at the moment. And just one man waits and sits on the line, and that is your current points and championship leader, Martin Wonnacott. Took second step on the podium at the final round at Birmingham NEC. Can he do it again? The man from Newton Abbot in South Devon in the Toyota Chaser JZX, a 1JZ under one at 700 horsepower. And look, he's had issues with that car this weekend. Is he going to hold together? Can he put a qualifying run in? Can he make it round? Can he hold on to the championship? That is the big question right now. Representing Pro Tuner, KE Fabrications, Hell Performance, Figs Motorsport, Wharton Motorsport, Volkscraft, VIP Racing, and Exo Racing. As Wonnacott stands on the foot brake to get nice and deep into outside zone 2. He's got a very tidy line as he gets the back end of that long Toyota Chaser into outside zone 3. Now Wonnacott looking good through the middle of the circuit. Nice, fast, shallow transition into that front clipping point. Stays on the throttle nice and early. Big clutch kick, big angle from Vaskelis. From Wonnacott, as Martin Wonnacott stands back on it once again and almost straight lines that final clipping point.
Brilliant run from Wonnacott there. Very, very strong. Just showing his potential, why he's got the lead in the championship currently.
Yeah, got myself all excited there and started shouting out the wrong name and everything. It's already too much excitement for me already. So scores dropping in for Martin Wonnacott. And there we go, an 85 puts him in 2nd place in qualifying at the moment, Sarah. And we are looking good. Some very big scores coming in. As you can see, Igis Manelga almost ready to warm them tyres. We're just going to rein it back in a minute and have a look at those scores and have a look at how we're sitting. And a lot of guys that are doing a very, very good job in qualifying. I think big surprise is a lot of zeros. I think that's the biggest surprise for me, because I would expect it if it was dry. Sorry, what am I talking about? I'd expect it if it was wet. I'd expect the zeros if it was wet. But it's dried out now. And these guys had quite a lot of practice on the Friday. We had an open practice on the Friday. And a lot of these pro drivers were here, driving, getting that seat time. And they were very consistent. They were very, very fast. I don't know what's going on. Is the pressure of qualifying the penultimate round, has it got to him, Sarah?
It could be, because I mean, if you mess up in that run, that is it. The run's done, it's a zero. And I thought that pressure, I know I'd feel that on my shoulders if you've got that kind of one chance, that one opportunity to just put that great run in. So it could be the pressure. But I mean, I guess the zeros were a little bit close to the beginning of the qualifying runs this morning, so maybe the track was still a little bit patchy. We can kind of forgive him that slightly, I guess. I don't know.
You're being very fair on him, Sarah.
I'm trying to be open-minded here.
You're being very fair on him. Look, I think it comes down to just the pure amount of pressure that's on these guys' shoulders. And look, it's the penultimate round, round 5. We move to Buxton in a couple of weeks' time for the final event of the year. We're going to pro-am competition on the Friday. We go under the lights. We go from 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock at night, and then we do the same on the Saturday. We do the pro final competition. We go under the lights there. And yesterday I gave quite a lot of secrets away about the event for Sunday, but last night we went back to the restaurant and the hotel, and Matt said, you know what, I'm going to throw the credit card on the table. And I was like, what do you mean, you're buying the beers? And he was like, no, forget the beers. He said, for the final event I'm going to put on a serious amount of fireworks. He said, I'm going to get the best guys in around for the fireworks, and we're going to put a big pyro show on at the end of the event, and we're going to end 2019 on a high. So if you didn't like yesterday buy your tickets, because not only have we got a big show under the lights, huge fireworks display, we've got a big party. We've got our former resident DJ from Pasha in London coming down. We've got the generic white guy for 3 days solid DJing. I don't even know how he's going to do it.
I don't know how he's going to do it.
He said to me, he texted me last night, he said, watch me, bro, I'm going to smash the party.
He loves it, doesn't he? Absolutely loves it. And he is a brilliant DJ to come and watch. So there's an excuse, if nothing else.
Come along, and you can get to party with all the drivers, the fans, all the crew, everyone behind the scenes. Me, you might want to party with me. Hey, you might want to party with Sarah.
I'll be in bed.
But look, we're going to throw it all at it, and don't forget on the Sunday, anyone can drive. That's right. Yesterday, I was whispered in the ear, and they said, "Tell him anyone can drive. If you want to drive, send an email into the BDC, and you can, if you get that green card, you can drive our pro drivers. You win that event." Well, you get an entry to 2020 BDC and 50 tyres. Well, there we go. Off the line.
Unbelievable prizes up for grabs, and the chance to drive, even if you're not a BDC driver.
Incredible. Egan Spinelga comes off the line now, Sarah, for his second qualifying run day. Let's hope we get some nicer scores and some more confident drivers as we see Spinelga try and get that car nice and wide. He finished in 4th place yesterday in our pro competition. He's going to be looking to get in the show with the rest of the lunatic school from Lithuania as Egan Spinelga fires that car and stands on the accelerator on that 3-litre V6 twin turbo. Nissan 300ZX brings it across the line too. Very confident runs there from Minelga.
Definitely a confident run. That's brilliant to see, because earlier on he was looking a little bit tentative and he got a 61 in his first run, which is not a bad score at all, but I'm hoping that's better. That looked a lot more tidy.
Well, currently sits in 12th position, so he's mid-pack at the moment. He's not inside that 8. You want to be in that 8 to guarantee yourself a place inside the top 16. Big score coming in, though, from Manelga right now, and a big statement from the Lithuanian as he jumps into 4th place with a 76. And I can hear the Lithuanian contingency to my right screaming and shouting off the line, though. We have Louis Edwards, the apprentice mechanic from Wrexham, in this M3-powered E36 BMW. 340 horsepower, and this guy, well, he qualified first. Can he do it again? Look, he scored a 94 and a 95 yesterday. Can he replicate that? No reason why not. Again, a bone dry track, same car, same guy, same layout. Just the pressure of being in this pro class. He comes absolutely flying in, though, Sarah. He is pinned to the accelerator right now as he gets into outside zone 7. You can see him, look, just dial the angle on, keeps a hold of it, not too many steering inputs, and look at Louis Edwards, ladies and gentlemen, pro-am driver, taking it across the line, and a round of applause from the judges.
And I'm not surprised why as well. We've said it before, he's a technical driver and he's very, very confident, and so he should be as well. He's smashed it all season, but he's really gelled with this track.
Well, look, he currently sits 3rd in the moment in qualifying, so he's inside the grade A to go to the top 16. So there we go. I think we got a little bit of a cross wire there between our one of our judges, Ben Manuel, just reading out his scores and whatnot. So waiting for the score to drop in for Louis Edwards. Oh wow, a big one coming in, Sarah. Can he take qualifying?
think he's
and
going to do
take
it.
top place. Oh, he can! A 91 for Louis Edwards. A 91 for Louis Edwards, and what a statement from the Pro-Am driver. We give the thumbs up to our start line Marshal Toby to send the next car, and that will be our final Pro-Am driver of the day, Josh King. Well, last time Josh King had a big statement like a 91 come up, he stepped it up a gear. Help from Martin Richards in the forthcoming week, and Valino tyres on the back of that car. Can King pull it together? He's very shallow on outside zone 2. He needs to get deep on 3, just about catches his wheel on that third marker out. You can see the 3 lines denoting how deep a guy is into those outside zones. As King's big clutch kick there as he comes through outside zone 7. And King doing what he did yesterday when he got a big score. Worked the car, put the car exactly where the judges wanted it, and then started to bring the smoke show as King gets deep into 10.
Josh King is definitely a man with a vengeance at the minute, isn't he? I mean, he would have been happy to kind of walk away yesterday with the podium and that would have been it, but he's now got the chance to drive the pros today and he's absolutely smashing it once again.
Well, he sits in 18th for the moment, so he's mid-pack, so he's going to want to climb up ever so slightly.
Definitely,
and wait for the scores to drop in from our judges. Looking good, Sarah.
He's definitely going to be doing it. 54 in his first run, 78 in his second run, which is definitely more like what we're used to seeing from Josh King. Put him in 4th position so far in the qualifying.
So there we go, a 78 score starting to rattle up now. We move it on to the first of our big pro drivers. And first up will be Simon Perry. So Simon Perry, the engineer and driving instructor from Leeds in West Yorkshire, comes off the line Nissan R34 GTR VR38 DETT under the bonnet, making 620 horsepower. He says he's too old for this, Sarah. He says he's just going to come back for a 1 round, but he's made a big mistake, and it just seems like Perry being out on that seat for quite a long time, it just goes to show you seat time is king. And if you're not driving, you know, these cars constantly, week in, week out, you take some time out. Perry had a year out so far. And it goes to show, you know, look, Simon Perry, this guy almost had a championship year after year when he was competing in the BDC for many, many years. And he's very wide now, Perry, as he takes out of zone 10 and across the line. It just goes to show the seat time is king.
It absolutely is key. And Simon Perry's got some fantastic driving talent, but he's just possibly a little bit rusty. He's been out of the game for a little bit, as you said, Ian, so maybe he just needs a little bit more seat time. He's definitely showing the potential, but needs to tidy those runs up a little bit, and that's coming up as a 0, no doubt, because of the wheels off.
Oh wow, so there we go.
There, so yeah, 0 for Simon.
So Perry stays in there with a 69 and holds on to that, and we would be going to Florin Kosmuta right now, but we have heard over the radio that Florin has had a clutch issue and is out of competition, so unfortunately not making it to the line, misses his place, and unfortunately out of competition, so we move it on to...
Unfortunately so. I was just going to say that he's got a 0 in his first run as well, so maybe that issue's just been creeping up. Yeah, that's obviously...
I'm guessing that's what happened. Yeah. They went back to the pits, so they had quite a bit of time to try and fix it, couldn't get their car fixed, and then, you know what, they said, let's not rush, let's retire from competition, get it fixed and come back to Buxton with a bang, move it along to the line to Leonard Keppert, now the businessman from Pitstone in Buckinghamshire. This car, absolutely insane, what a build. 800 horsepower S54 turbo under the bonnet on this BMW E46. As Keppert makes his way down, Keppert sitting with a 56 on his first qualifying run, and he's going to want to go deep to get these zones and get himself a nice high score right now. And this looks a lot smarter from Leonard Keppert. No panics, no rushed decisions. Comes through the middle of the circuit, foot to floor, very wide. Keppert, and you know what? Just couldn't hold onto it.
Such a shame, and it's easily done as well, isn't it? Very, very easy to over-rotate into a spin. He's took a cone with him as well there.
We'll have to charge him for that. And the governor's up here in the tower as well, looking.
He's watching it, right? I'm going to invoice that.
These cones are slim on the ground this weekend. We've had a few casualties so far, so there we go. That will be a 0 for Leonard Keppert. We just need to make that official. 3 zeros, in a row. And again, these zeros creeping in, Sarah. Very uncharacteristic of our pro grid. I think that just goes to show you the level that we're expecting and the standard of driving that we're pushing these guys to. That's
it, absolutely, and it's a lot of pressure, and it's very, very easy to make that mistake, because these are guys that are driving on the edge the entire run. So if you make a small mistake, that's it, your run's done. And I guess that pressure does come to you, and at some point everyone makes a little mistake as well, and it's going to come back.
Yeah, we
all
make
0, unfortunately.
Yeah, we all make big mistakes sometime, and Nathan Shivers made a big one in them early. You can see the front of that car back together, but bruised and battered as he took that car, the front end to the wall, dropping wheels on outside zone 10, right in front of the judging tower. Had a big collision with the wall, but good team down there. And those guys got that car back together again. And Nathan Shivers, the owner of GDA Sports Cars in Tunbridge Wells in Kent. LS2 V8 supercharged, 700 horsepower. And this car, all the toys.
All of the toys.
All of the toys. All of the toys. And I do believe, I heard a rumour yesterday that it might be for sale. Because I heard a rumour that Nathan Shivers is potentially building a new car. So if you're feeling flush, he'll have it fixed, he'll have it looking good. And yeah, this car could be for sale. So the Hell Performance GDA Sports Cars Fibre Factory Astral Signs, Lenco Motorspares, Nissan 200SX comes off the line. Ready for the second qualifying run of the day. And Shivers scoring a 33 on his first qualifying run. He needs to better that one massively now. As you can see, Shivers completely sacrificing outside zone 2, just about dips the wheel into outside zone 3. Goes on big angle now as he comes through the middle of the circuit. And Shivers foot to floor as he dabs a little bit of handbrake, gets back into it on throttle nice and early into outside zone 7. And once again using all of that 700 horsepower from the V8 under the bonnet as he starts to smoke the crowd out and come across the line. He'll be happy with that one.
He will be. That was a lot stronger than his first one, although he did sacrifice 2 at the beginning there, but hopefully the rest of the run has given him enough strength to just pull through and up into the qualifying where he needs to be. So he was 23rd after his first run at 33, which is low. He wouldn't have been happy with that one.
No, he's very close to the drop zone there, is Nathan Shivers. The score drops in. It looks like he's going to climb himself up the order, though. And where does Shivers end up? The second qualifying score, 18th place with a 57, so a 57 for Shivers. Moves himself up next. Oh, this man, whole lot of reputation, normally sitting next to me on the microphone, but this weekend he's got to put it all on the line, driving the Sunoco Race Fuels Mobile 1 Mustang RTR. It's Dave Egan. Just a mere 895 horsepower in this car. Previously driven by the Formula D champion Vaughan Gittin Jr. Well, what can Dave Egan does? Nice initiation there. You can see him drag that handbrake for quite a long time. He said, look, left-hand drive car. He said, when you sit in this car, it looks like it's 40 foot long one way and 40 foot long the other. And he said he's just taken him a long time to get used to it. And also being left-hand drive, first ever competition drift car that Dave has driven. Left-hand drive, he fires that car in all, gets off throttle for a long time, just about gets back into it to make it work. As Egan starts unleashing almost 900 horsepower and takes it across the line. He'll be happy with that.
He'll be definitely happy with that. He almost makes it look effortless, doesn't it? That car floats.
Yeah, and you say it floats, but it's a big old car.
It is, it's massive, isn't it? But I think that's just the way they set up any massive cars. They kind of look like they're just wafting along really effortlessly. I'm sure his arms and legs are going like nuts inside.
I guarantee that.
Trying to control it. But on the outside, it looks like he's...
We call that flapping in the drift.
Yeah.
We call that flapping.
Yeah,
big score.
Imagine that.
Big score coming in for Dave Egan right now as he drops into 4th place with a 78. So Egan stepping it up right there and gets himself in the mix. We go back to the start line to Lewis Mitchell. So Lewis Mitchell in this S14 coming off the line, Boss kitted car. Looks very, very cool.
It's a gorgeous car. Did you say this one's for sale as well?
I'm pretty sure it's for sale, yeah. I mean, I'll start rumours, but I'm pretty sure that Lewis Mitchell...
If it's not, he's getting some offers now, isn't he, on Facebook later
Pretty sure he put a post on Facebook earlier on in the week saying, you know what, it's time to adult now, so it's time to sell the race car and the race rig. And such a shame. Been good friends with Lewis Mitchell for many, many years now. He brings his father with him and his grandfather, and they are, hot rod and oval racing champions for many, many years. So racing runs through the blood of this family. And Lewis Mitchell, he just unfortunately got to the point now where he says, yeah, look, it's time to grow up, get married, buy a house, and settle down. And unfortunately, racing's going to have to come second. So
that doesn't sound very fun to me. I think I'd rather race, but. He's not looking as strong as he has been. I've seen him a lot stronger than he's been today so far. I don't know whether he's bettered his first run or not.
I think they could potentially bet. Yeah, I think that's going to be ever so slightly higher. Yeah, look at this, and just marginally higher than his first qualifying run. Score star dropping in a 54 for Lewis Mitchell, drops him into 20th position at the moment. So next driver on the line, we do have Hayden Cruikshank, the birthday boy. And Cruikshank in that Ricky Bobby liveried Toyota. There we go. Here we go for Hayden Cruikshank. Well, he said he drives at Japan every other week. Can you put that down? This tight technical circuit should be just what he's used to right now, but he's sacrificing. I see you shaking your head there, Sarah. Not happy with that. Not impressed.
I'm just shaking my head for him because he's missed those clips. It's really frustrating, isn't it, when you're rooting for someone to do well and he's not as strong as I've seen him before, unfortunately. Maybe he's had too much birthday cake today and he's too excited. Maybe
that, or maybe he had a few drinks last night for his birthday. And maybe he's suffering a little bit now in the car.
Possibility.
Well, Hayden Cruikshank there finishing up his second run of the day.
Hopefully it's enough. I mean, he got a 0 in his first run. So
yeah, 0'd out in his first run.
So it's enough to get him in the safe zone.
Well, scores are dropping in from our judges. Hayden Cruikshank representing the Gentlemen's Drift Club. Scores dropping in. Looks like a nice mid-pack score there.
Not too bad. Hope it's enough.
Yeah, 53 drops him into 21st position, so just about in the show for Cruikshank. And we move it along to Julie Robinson. She scored a 43 on her first qualifying run. Look at that, thumbs out the window. She's happy. She's always having fun. Always happy.
That's the main thing about Julie. She's always having fun. If she's going sideways, she's having fun.
So she sits on the line eagerly awaiting her second qualifying run of the day. And as I said a minute ago, 43 on her first qualifying run. So she's in the show. Oh, literally in the show. Look at that. She's sitting in 24th position at the moment, so she has work to be done. Nice initiation, though, but it's going to sacrifice outside zone 2. She's going to go wide now. And can she get that car back on that wide line? She certainly does. As Julie Robinson gets nice and deep into the outside zone, and a good line through the middle of the circuit. She gets on throttle very, very early. As I mentioned earlier, one of the most lowest powered cars on the grid, just 300 horsepower underneath the bonnet of this Nissan Skyline. Julie Robinson making it look effortless though as she takes it across the line. Very, very flowing, very fluid run.
That was a lot more fluid than the first run. She looked a lot more confident there, obviously finding her feet a little bit. Hopefully that's enough to keep her in. It should be, I think, looking at her first run. She's definitely in the danger zone.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, actually.
No, it's going to be a similar score. Very, very similar.
Very,
and do you know what? Exactly the same score. Exactly the same score for Julie Robinson at 43. So super consistent, but now she sits on the danger zone and close to dropping out. And well, this man on the line right now, he scored a 0 on his first qualifying run. He came second at the Retro Drift Challenge event just a couple of weeks ago in Pembury in Wales. And you know what? He's got the potential to take a top step on the podium. We've seen it before. He took his pro licence and said, I'm moving up to the pros. That's where I belong. That's where I can battle it out now. Spot will be on the radio saying, look, don't do anything silly. Yeah. You only need a 43 to be in the show. Just put a run in and stay in it. But I know Hugo Savile.
No,
he'll be wanting to prove a point.
He's kind of full send, isn't he?
He's 100% full send. And this car is a crazy build. It's not even really an AE86 anymore.
No, it's not really. Most of it's not. But it still looks awesome, doesn't it?
Still looks awesome as he comes off the line. V8 turbo powered Toyota Corolla fires in now. Hugo Savile needs to make this one work. Gets very deep into outside zone 2, looking good already for Savile. As you can see him shallow up the angle, dial that car, and he wants to be technical, but he also wants to get through this track nice and fast with quite a bit of impact. You can see him fire that car in. A lot of use of the handbrake as he slows it down, and Savile navigates his way out to outside zone 7 and 8. Very tidy job. You see that car jumping up and down. He may be having an issue with that car. It doesn't look the usual fast, fluid car that we see from Savile, but he puts a run in nevertheless, and across the line goes Hugo Savile.
Yeah, much better run for Savile, but that he was using the handbrake quite a lot from what I could hear, so I don't think that's going to go down too well with the judges, but overall obviously much better than the first one. He's managed to put a run in, so we'll see if that's enough just to keep him safe for qualifying. I hope it is, because he's a driver with a lot of potential. Like I said, he kind of goes full send, doesn't he? And it's great when that works out for him.
Well, there we go. Score drops in at 66 for Hugo Savile. Gets himself in the show in 13th position, and he'll be happy just to get in the show.
Definitely.
Move it along back to the line, and one of your favourite names on the grid, Ollie Elmore. Yeah, had that incident earlier. Bonnet flipped on him, smashed the windscreen. He said, hell to that. Put it back down, chucked a ratchet strap over it and said, I'm going back out. I am not scared, as he get opposite flick from Elmore right now. Very deep. And that's the danger zone right there.
That is the danger zone that we saw yesterday.
That is where you can rip a wheel off, but he did sacrifice outside zone and 2 and 3 right there now, as Elmore has to get back into it again through the middle of the circuit. And Ollie Elmore trying to make this one work the best he can right now. It was battered and bruised Nissan Skyline R33. 720 horsepower under the bonnet too. JZ representing Hill Performance. And gets it across the line. And Elmore, a 58 on his first run, so he's going to want to better that to get himself, the goal is for these guys to get in the 8th, one of the 8th positions at the top of the grid, because that means you've not got a battle in top 24. That means you can have an easy one, you can sit it out, wait for top 16, and then you're in the show. And top 24, 8th position down, those guys go head to head, and someone's going home, someone's going through top 16.
That's it. So these guys, when they do the qualifying now, the top 8, they're safe, they're done, they're sorted. The next 8, the next lot of drivers, they've got a battle for that next 8, haven't they?
They certainly have, they go head to head. A 59 for Ollie Elmore drops him into 16th position for the moment. So, he's safe in the show, but he's got work to be done this afternoon as we move it back to the start line to this man. It will be Oliver Silcock, and it's incredibly clean at PS 13. And Silcock, 1JZ, 500 horsepower. He says one day he'll own an otter sanctuary, and he'll have a few fans on his hands, that's for sure. As Silcock gets his car around the circuit, very clean looking car. Almost too clean to be doing the job right now, but Silcock doesn't care about that. He just wants to drift and have fun and party with the rest of the boys as he puts a hammer down now. You can see a really big clutch kick there for Ollie Silcock as he gets into outside zone 7 and 8. Drags it through the final 2 zones, and across the line goes Ollie Silcock, looking confident today. Definitely
looking confident. He got 70 in his first run. I'm not sure whether that's enough to beat it. I reckon that's a little bit higher, but I'm just sat on this side of the tower. I'm not a judge, so we'll see what they've got to say. But it was a good, strong run, and he's definitely safe.
Well, he's just outside. Look, 9th position. So he's just outside of that top 8. He would love to just climb 1-2 positions higher. I don't know if he's going to do it. Scores low. Judge is not liking that run as much, and it drops in 55 on his second run, stays where he is in 9th position, Sarah. So back to the line, this man's Paul Smokey Smith. Sits on the start line, representing the UK in Europe this season in the Drift Masters European Championship, representing Jaspeed and Maxis Tyres. Smokey Smith, what can he do? Very wide goes Smokey Smith right now, but he needs to be wide again. He certainly can. He pulls this one off. He's seen where everybody else is sitting in the grid, and he said, I need to be in those great 8 positions. Can I get up there? Oh, big flick from Smokey Smith right there as he gets the front on that clipping point now. Dials himself into outside zone. Can he make it work all the way out? He certainly can. As Smokey Smith navigates his way into outside zone 8. Looks like he's clear for a full send on the final 2 clipping points. And Paul Smokey Smith gets it across the line. A very tidy job there. That was the impact, that was the excitement we was looking for.
Absolutely, and that's what we've come to expect from Smokey Smith really as well. He's always kind of bringing that fight, and the first run wasn't really what I'm used to seeing from him, so that was definitely more what we're used to seeing, and hopefully it's going to put him in the safe zone. I'm not sure if it's enough. It's in 14th at the minute.
Well, it's a big score coming in, and judges liking that one from Paul Smokey Smith. Puts him in 12th place, so a 68, so just not enough to climb up high enough. And we go back to Mike Wharton he sits with a 58 on the score, so he's going to want to improve that. And as I said, looked like he was having a few issues earlier on today in practice, but he seems to have got that car dialed now. The T-boy from Wharton Motorsport comes around with a big opposite flick now as he sends that car down into outside zone 1. And Mike Wharton, he has a dab of the handbrake there to extend it out to the outside zone. Judge will be taking a look at that one as he gets very deep into outside zone 3. Mike Wharton, you can hear that car come off throttle quite a lot. Judge will be taking a lot of note on that to say, look, not full commitment, you know, he's on and off throttle quite a bit. And again, once again, off throttle again there. And you can see him now working that car as he gets nice and wide to outside zone 9. And takes it deep to the line. As Wharton finishes up that run, I think the judges are going to knock him down for the lack of commitment, personally.
Well, you could be right. You could be right. That's little details you see that I don't always pick up on yet because I'm still learning how all this works. So I'm glad you pointed that one out because I wouldn't have noticed it off the throttle part.
Yeah,
you know, because to me that looked really strong. But obviously you're seeing other things because you've got more experience than I. I mean, you've driven as well. So
yeah, look, the judges are saying it's still a good run, but for me, I think it lacked a little bit. Yeah, there he goes. Drops in 8th position, so he's on the edge there, and a 71 for Mike Wharton. Yeah, good, but if he would have been more consistent with the throttle, I think they could have gone very, very high because technically it was a very good run. And I'm getting a nod from Brad McQueen. He's saying, yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it's all about. You know, throttle consistency is a big thing. On the line, Matt Walker, the giant killer, the man who's got 9 lives. What can he do right now? The engineer from Shropshire, BMW E30. As I said, this car very understated. I've been mistaken in the past to say this car isn't going to get far in competition, and all of a sudden he's standing on top set of the podium, big flick in, a big fire, and a full send from Matt Walker as he gets that car nice and wide. And this guy, again, a very technical line driver, very good at what he does. as you can see him just lean across there, flick that car into the outside zone as he balances that car on the edge of the circuit, full throttle as he enters into Luna Bend, and Matt Walker screaming through as he puts the foot down once again and unleashes all of the 300 horsepower underneath the bonnet of that BMW. And again, a good technical drive, a good run. Brilliant run from where we were sitting. Yeah, definitely a technical driver. He knows that car so well. He's very, very technical and very precise. I think you're right. You do kind of think, oh, he's a little bit in the background, bit of the underdog. Definitely that's what he likes to be, though.
Yeah, I know he likes it, doesn't
that's
he?
Where he
definitely
likes to
one
be.
to watch, though, because he kind of sneaks up from nowhere and messes up the championship. I love it.
So we'll wait for the score to drop in. Look at this, a nice big score for Matt Walker. Very technical run, and a 77 puts him in 6th position at the moment. And Walker will be absolutely chuffed with that one as we go back to the line to Alistair Sutton, car salesman from Lingfield in Surrey. And this V8 BMW powered Nissan 200SX S14 comes off the line as Alistair Sutton now looks down, scoring a 69 in his first qualifying run. He'll be looking to better that one. But he's in the show though, he slows down massively. You see him left foot braking there to balance that car into the outside zone. And then once again you can see a lot of left foot braking there from Alistair Sutton. But that's the style he likes to drive with. He likes to drive with quite a little bit of left foot brake just to balance the car perfectly. Doesn't really favour the use of the handbrake that much. You can see him use it there to scrub that car into outside zone 6. And now he gets nice and deep into outside zone 8 as he comes around Luna Bend, puts the foot to floor and takes it nice and deep into 10 and across the line. And that car, you know, if that had another 150, 200 horsepower, I think Sutton could be a good contender in the championship for sure.
Yeah, you can imagine, couldn't you? It would be a little bit more savage if it had that little extra kick of horsepower. But again, it's a driver that knows his car very, very well. He's technical, he's confident as well, and I think that's what makes him. It looks effortless when he's confident. He's not. He doesn't look like he's fighting it from the outside, which means it's fluid and smooth as well.
Well, score's dropping in. It's going to be a very similar score. Yeah, a 64 there for Sutton. Stays where he is in 12th position. And then we go from a car that's not got that much horsepower to a car that has all the horsepower, 800 of it in fact, and detuned. You know, he turned it down. He said, I don't need 1,000 horsepower, that's just ridiculous. I'll just have 800.
Kind of is, yeah.
I'll just have 800. So off the line, Robin Neeson in the Kevin Quinn, Quinn's M Sport 180SX built by Joe Doyle and the boys down there at Quinn M Sport in Ireland as he fires very deep. Oh, that car gripped up. See the way the car gripped up? Almost shot him forward. He had to work to get that car back on that qualifying line. He's very deep. Oh, he takes down clipping point 3 there as Robin Neeson now makes his way through the middle circuit. A few mistakes creeping into this run as Neeson gets deep onto that line. Oh, drops a wheel again. Can he hold on to it? He certainly can. And he's looking scrappy. I think he's just gone for it. Full bore. He's just gone full send, 100%. No backing out of it now as he goes very wide again. Neeson stays in it and takes it across the line as the Irishman, no regard to the car.
Unbelievable run there from Neeson. From the crowd's point of view, from my point of view, that was awesome. But I dare say the judges are going to find a few faults with that. He's pushing it possibly a little bit too hard.
Yeah, he was just pushing. You know, look, there was 100%, and there was 110%, and Neeson was 100%. He just needed to rein it in ever so slightly,
just to keep it tidy.
Yeah, because the wheel drops. You know, the wheel drops would have been sacrificing scores on his points off his score, and that's going to knock him down. And I don't know. I think it's going to be similar to the first run. There was a lot of mistakes in that.
There was, unfortunately. It was 100 out of 100 for style, but needed to tidy it up a little bit.
Yeah, for commitment, he was way up there.
Definitely.
But yeah, well, he does improve ever so slightly with a 62 and drops himself into 17th position, and Neeson in the show later on, so that man going to do good things. Up next, Stefanoff. And this guy, like I say, got onto the podium at round 3 of the British Drift Championship at Teesside, where you guys had a mare with weather again there as a washout, I do believe.
It was beyond a washout. I think we only needed some boats instead of cars.
Well, Stefanoff made it work and he got himself on the podium, but yet to do it again. This looks good right now though for Stefanoff in his second qualifying run. He was good in practice, but he was very good in the wet as it dried out. Car looked like it needed another 100 horsepower, and you could hear him really hitting the rev limiter. Just shows that car not geared absolutely correctly for this track. Nevertheless, oh, you know what? He just let it bog too much again. He did the same thing he did last time, Sarah. But he gives a hand out the window and a wave to the judges as Stefanoff finishes up that run.
Yeah, unfortunately he's made the same mistake twice there. It's obviously catching him out. He's still got a good score on his last run, but Again, strong run, but I think it's probably in about the same.
No, it's going to be low. It's going to be very, very low. That big straighten would have been a big mistake. It's too much, miles too much. Yeah, that's going to be way down. He's sitting comfortable, 10th position with a 70.6. So Stefanoff will be looking good for competition later on. Not high enough up to get into that safe zone, that grade 8, the top 8 drivers. And there we go. Better than what I assumed, but not as good as what he would have hoped. A 61 on his second qualifying run. So he stays where he is, 10th position. And up next, Scott Carnage and his Savage PS13, 3 UZ under the bonnet, 4.3 litre V8, and then he just slapped a big turbo on there. I said 700 horsepower will be the number that comes out of the dyno when he fires that car in. The 2018 Pro-Am champion, sorry, 2017 Pro-Am champion? 2018 Pro-Am champion. Can't remember right now. Brain's got a little bit dead after yesterday.
Too much going on yesterday.
You have to excuse me for today. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, I can tell you that right now. Oh, he fires it in nice and deep, though, does Carnage, as he gets on that outside line, keeps on the throttle. A big clutch kick as he gets into outside zone 8. And that's where it needs to work. Look at the speed that Carnage carries. Oh, he's very wide. He's very, very wide. As Scott Carnage gets himself way up in the mix and gets himself into the tyre wall in the middle of the circuit. And that's Sarah. That's how easy it is to get it wrong. And the grass, well, as soon as you get on that grass, that's it, it's game over.
It is, and we've seen a couple of drivers suffer that fate as well this weekend so far. That section where Clipping 10 is, that is where the danger zone is, because as I said earlier, you've got that strip of concrete just outside the edge of the track, and it's painted as well, so it's super, super slippy. Of course, now it's covered in rubber, and then if you kind of drop your wheels onto that, it's really slippy. That then is probably going to drag you onto the grass, which is even worse, and you kind of just pass it after that. 0. So as I thought, you see, that was just after the line, but obviously not.
Well, no, he dropped.
Because all of the wheels were off?
Yeah, well, right. outside zone 10, he dropped all 4 wheels off the edge of the track, so that would have been deemed as a 0. And look at that state of that car now; it's absolutely battered and bruised. To go back to the pits now, try and get that car back together again. Now, we are obviously going to bring all the cars out onto the circuit, line them up. We're going to invite everybody here in attendance to come down onto the track. So once the last car of qualifying, which will be Wonnacott, if you guys to head down to the silver gate at the edge of the track, we're going to let you on. You get down to meet the drivers. Drivers are going to be giving away some stuff, Sarah.
They're going to be giving away freebies?
Some freebies. Some freebies will be given away from our drivers. So make sure you get yourself down there, meet and greet the drivers, come and have a look at these cars and see what machinery these guys put down. And obviously, if you're not interested in seeing that, we've got the Rat Pack RC guys. Yes. Forgot all about them yesterday, and I'm really sorry, because the Rat Pack RC guys always treat me with donuts, and that's why I haven't had any today. They said no donuts for you. You forgot about us. We're going to make you starve, Ian. You're going to have to starve. Donuts. They'll reappear once you give us a shout out.
No donuts for dinner for you.
Shout out to the Rat Pack RC guys in attendance. They've been smashing it all week, and they even let head judge, they even let Ryan Pothecary have a go yesterday, which is dangerous because he can barely drive a drift car.
Oh well, to be honest, I'm not very good at the RC cars. I will say I've had a go. I'm not very good.
Well,
so I don't want to embarrass myself any further, so I'm keeping away from the Rat Trap RC guys now.
Well, off the line we've got Oliver Bolton, the young gun from Essex. What's he got? Oh, very wide. And out of nowhere comes Bolton. He knows what mistakes he made in the first qualifying run. Can he better his first qualifying run, get himself way up the order into that grade 8 drivers? And that car singing at the moment, had some issues with the turbo gasket. It seems like him and the team have got it worked. He gets dialed to the edge of the circuit, finds outside zone 7 this time, and way wide dials on big angle for 8. Big clutch kick from Ollie Bolton as he puts foot to floor now, looks for outside zone 10. Not as clean as what we've seen from Bolton, but we know qualifying's not his he's not his pinnacle. He loves to get in them twin battles, and that's where he comes alive.
Yeah, definitely comes alive in the battles. Yeah, he just needs to get the safe score on so that he's got a chance to get through.
Well, it was a 67 for his first. What does he get for his second score? What are the judges liking that one? Are they going to penalise him as we await for the score to drop in for Oliver Bolton's second qualifying run of the day? Yeah, the Funk Motorsport sponsored driver. So he sits 15th for the moment, mid-pack, big score coming in for Bolton. Look at this, jumps into the 8th place with a 75. So a 75 for Oliver Bolton, gets right where he wants to be. Can he hold on to that one? A few drivers still yet to go. Up next, Adam Simmons. So Adam Simmons, the car painter. 2 car painters, one behind the other. How about that?
There we go.
You can't really class Oliver Bolton as a car painter, because if you've seen the state of his drift car, you'd be like, you don't paint cars for a living. That's for sure.
You wouldn't believe it, would you?
You wouldn't believe it. But this car on the grid, immaculate build, a very, very nice build from Jason Clark Customs. Incredible stuff. LS3 under the bonnet, 400 horsepower. And Simmons got on the podium again when I wasn't at that event. And can he do it again? There's a big flick initiation from Simmons, looking good, but it's going to sacrifice his line. Look at that, middle of the track is not He's thrown away outside zone 2 for that big committed entry. Now he needs to tidy this one up and try and get himself back on that qualifying line. Simmons again, another driver that comes alive in twin battles and very dangerous in that chase position. But first of all, he needs to get himself in the show. As you can see, the front of that car lift up with a big clutch kick from Simmons in outside zone 8. Foot to floor as that little BMW Z4 goes across the line. And Simmons there.
Very, very committed driver. He does kind of use full throttle as much as he possibly can. It's quite an interesting car because it looks really small, but I think the wheelbase isn't as small as it would appear, so it does handle better than you expect.
I do believe it's the same size wheelbase as a Nissan 200SX, but just
You'd never believe it. You'd never looking at it.
You just think it's the fact that Simmons sits so far back in it.
Yeah,
he's basically
almost
sitting on the back wheels.
Yeah, that's it.
Not saying that he's a big guy or anything. I'm just saying
tall.
that the seating position. He's a tall drink of water. That guy. Scores dropping in. It's going to be very similar. Oh wow, completely split. Look at that. Brad not liking that one. The score drops in a 65. A 65 for Simmons. Simmons a 17th position at the moment. And then we move on to the top 4 in the championship. Up first will be Oliver Evans. Well, Evans with that big score of an 89, his first qualifying run. He would have known that Edwards would have topped qualifying at the moment with a 91. What can Evans do right now as he puts that car right to the edge of the circuit? Oliver Evans fires that car in, this aggressive chase driver, but he sacrifices outside zone 3 there. You can see that car on the middle of the circuit. He's going to have to get very wide there, and he certainly makes it work as Evans once again puts that car on the edge of the track to get fulfill all those outside zones. Big angle transition as he gets into the last part of that lunar bend, foot to floor, screaming that 2JZ under the bonnet, and takes it across the line. And Evans likes that one. You can see he's happy in the car.
Yeah, you can tell even just looking at his driving style, he's happy chappy after that one. But he is very confident. I don't know if that's enough to beat Louis' 91. It didn't look as technically perfect.
Well, I mean, there's only one way to find out.
Let's let the judges make the decision.
Well, judges did deliberate in this one. They're having a chat about this yet.
It's obviously not as straightforward as we thought then. Well, he's in second place at the minute in qualifying. I think he's going to be safe in the 8. He's got to be.
He's going to be safe in the 8 for sure, because there's only 3 more guys left to go, and I don't think that they are going to knock him out of that 8.
No, probably not. But it would be, I'm sure he'd love if he could, beat Louis' excellent 91 score.
Well, he won't want a Pro-Am driver coming in here and messing up his championship, that's for sure. So he's going to want to outdo Louis Edwards. But what can Oliver Evans do? We wait for the score to drop in from our judges. Second place at the moment. Can he top qualify? Oh, it doesn't look like he's going to. Judges saying a few mistakes creeping in onto that run. And there we go. An 81. He stays where he is in second place at the moment. And we go back to the start line. Third place, borrowed car, is Ricky Lawrence. I want some Ricky Lawrence fans in the house right now, making some noise as Lawrence comes down. Willie Hanna lending out this car, and a big props to Willie Hanna for lending out that car to keep this championship hopes alive for Ricky Lawrence. He made a whole host of errors last time, but looking a lot smarter this time as he gets nice and deep into outside zone 3. You can see him smoking up the tyres on the back of that Nissan Skyline as he comes through the middle of the circuit, and a big flick as Ricky Lawrence puts foot to floor, and now he's starting to look comfortable. This is a man that can gel with a chassis straight away, dials it on big angle, and fires that car into outside zone 9, a pop to the wheel, up on the curb, to the line, across the finish line, makes some noise, Wigan. What a run, and a guy that almost counted himself out of the battle today.
Round of applause to the judges in the tower as well, so they're liking what they see. That is definitely more the Ricky Lawrence that we're used to seeing. He's obviously just had a little bit of time in that car now to get used to it. He's in a borrowed car, remember, so it's a lot of pressure, isn't it? You're not quite familiar with the setup, but he's fully nailed that one there.
Yeah, very nice run there from Ricky Lawrence, and he'll be hoping to better his first qualifying score of 20. Gets him in 26th position. He's going to want to climb way up the order right now. Can he get himself a spot inside the safe 8? Oh, it's looking good right now for Lawrence. Where does he end up? Oh, a 9. He's just outside with a 74. And he's got work to do. It means he's going to have to battle inside top 24 to make that happen. We move it on to the final 2 drivers of the day. Up first will be Aramis Vaskalis from the Lunatic School. The Lithuanian Lunatic comes off the line with 1,000 horsepower to his use in his BMW E46 M3 right now. Fires it in. Look how wide he is. Big angle, but he's gone too wide. He's gone too wide. Can he hold on to it? Just about. From Aramis Vaskalis right there as the Lunatic gets that car around the circuit. Now starts to rein it in a little bit. Get a little bit hot-headed as he throws in big angle, takes down the clipping point and almost the back of the car as he once again throws a big angle outside zone 8. And Aramis Fiscalis not leaving anything out there. He's trying to wow the crowd and the judges as he smashes the rev limit across the line. Wigan makes some noise.
They call them lunatics for a reason, and I think that's probably proving the point entirely. That's not as tidy as we're used to seeing from him, but 10 out of 10 for effort.
10 out of 10 for effort, and it's not tidy because there was literally no control. Look at this from Fiscalis. Goes almost 90 degrees, gets on the dirt, drops one wheel off the edge of the track.
I can't believe he held it after that, to be honest. I thought that was it. The wheel was off the track. I thought that was going to drag him.
And then watch this transition again. It fires it in big angle, drops a wheel just on the edge of the circuit, takes down that clipping point with the back bumper and keeps in it. Big angle once again. You see him clutch kick that car. The wheel almost comes to a dead stop, and then you can see him clutch kick it. Ton of smoke come off the back of that car, and Fiscalis stays in it, brings it across the line. Very impressive. Very, very impressive.
Very impressive. The car controller is unbelievable. I can't believe he actually held it all the way around to get a full run in. I thought that was it. I thought he was a goner.
Well, he scored a 72, I do believe, on his first qualifying run, so he's currently going to have to work to get inside the show, the top 16. Can he beat himself in that score, or were the wheels off too much? A judge is going to be looking at this one saying, you know, that initiation wouldn't have been chaseable from a chase car's point of view, because you would have assumed he's going off track or he's going to spin. So that would be points down on that score. He needs to better a 75 to beat Oliver Bolton and knock him out of that 8. Where's he going to be? A 72 at the moment, 10th position from Fiscalis. The lunatic school driver sits eagerly awaiting. Can he get himself inside the safe zone? Scores getting input into the system. Sounds like it's going to be a big one. What have we got? Oh, here we go. Fiscalis score drops in. And a 79 puts Fiscalis in 4th position for qualifying. And there we go. Even though wheels dropped off, still full commitment. And here we go, the final driver in qualifying, and your current points and championship leader, Martin Wonnacott. We got any Martin Wonnacott fans in the house? Yeah, I know, we've got a whole host of them up there. Toyota Chaser JZX off the line, 1JZ, 700 horsepower right now, ready to be unleashed. What has Wonnacott got? He's sitting 3rd at the moment in qualifying, and he'll definitely want to top qualifying as he fires that car in. Very nice job so far from Wonnacott. Can he take top spot in qualifying? Oh, he's going to try to. Big transition from Wonnacott as he gets that car nice and deep into every zone at the moment. This could go top. This looks good from Wonnacott. Absolutely flying as he keeps that car on the edge of the circuit. Wonnacott is coming for it right now. Wonnacott not messing around. He knows he wants to take down the points leaders as he gets deep inside the outer zone across the line. And a round of applause from the judges and a round of applause here from everyone in attendance. That, Sarah, is going to be a big score. And
that is exactly why he's leading the points. The judges are on their feet applauding that run. That was absolutely fantastic from Wonnacott. He is going to be so happy with that. I mean, 85 in his first run. I dare say he might have bettered that there.
I'm going to tell you.
I'm going
to go all out on a limb. I'm going to go all out on a limb. I'm going to say that's going to be first place qualifier. If that doesn't beat a 91 of Louis Edwards, then there's something wrong with the system right now. Scores dropping in. Does Martin Wonnacott top qualifying here at round 5 of the 2019 British Drift Championship? Silence. Oh wow, big score coming in. Here we go for Wonnacott. 95, and he takes the top place in qualifying. And there we go, Sarah, that is a statement. Your current points and championship leader comes in and takes qualifying and says, Fiscalis, sit down.
That is exactly what he's doing right now. So we can see the qualification result there on the screen. You can see Martin Wonnacott absolutely smashing it with a 95. Louis Edwards not too far behind him in a 91. Oliver Evans is next up with 89. Aramis Fiscalis, David Egan, Josh King, Matthew Walker, Ignis Oliver Bolton, Mickey Lawrence in 10th place. And then we've got Mike Wharton, Stefanoff, Oliver Silcock, Alistair Sutton, Simon Perry, Paul Smokey Smith, Hugo Savile, Adam Simmons, Robin Neeson, Ollie Elmore in 20th. And then we've got Nathan Shivers, Leonard Kepper, Lewis Mitchell, Hayden Cruikshank, birthday boy today, Scott Cartledge, Julie Robinson, Ross Barr and Florin Cosmota, who didn't actually get to go out this time.
No, so there we go.
Knocked out, but
yeah, what a day, what a qualifying session. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, if you want to make your way down to the Silver Gate on the edge of the track, we're going to bring out our pro drivers and you can come and meet and greet those guys. Well, look, that is it, qualifying done. That means we have the top 24 competition ready to rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, from me and Sarah, everyone here, we'll be back at 250 for top 24 competition. We'll see you very, very soon.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
Tarmac Sports.
Would you drift for me? Would you drift for me?
Dry conditions, perfect for my transition. V8 wicked supercharged. Man, listen, on a mission, give and chase. Chase so hard, gotta pop the brakes. Never spin out. Handbrake initiate into a big angle. Tires bake. We on fire when we apply pressure. Touch and go, yo, we hold it together.
It's competition, we dismantling with handling. Of the steering wheel, we out drift, don't challenge it. Never gonna give up, we handling curves, holding position. Why you only manage a swerve?
Tag the wall, no falling back. Hold the outside line when we on the attack. Getting deeper in the zone, drifting out chicanes. Got nothing to lose, only all to gain.
See me in the rear view, you know I'm coming through. As you on the outside, what you gonna do? Would you drift for me?
We gonna drift for you.
Then would you drift for me?
We gonna drift for you.
See me in the rear view, you know I'm coming through. As you on the outside, what you gonna do? Would you drift for me?
We gonna drift for you.
Then would you drift for me?
We gonna drift for you.
Would you drift for me? Would you drift for me?
People marvel at the skills, we be getting chills. Burning rubber, can't you see the art of drifting is the thrill? It's a brotherhood, anywhere you're going, man. England to Latvia, USA to Japan. Stay away with your ABS. LSD can show you about finesse. Toyotas to Beamers, Honda to Subaru, and my Nissan drivers, we ain't forgotten you.
Boy, you got the need for speed, the adrenaline rush when you flip those keys. Spin the wheel about 90 degrees. Will these tires hold out when you chase the lead?
I'm not sure like it matters, just keep on pushing. Westlake won't mind, only they get a looking. Taking corners with some elegant ease. Power sliding with precision on the track or the streets.
See me in the rear view, you know I'm coming through. As you on the outside, what you gonna do? Would you drift for me?
We're gonna drift for you.
Now would you drift for me?
We're gonna drift for you.
See me in the rear view, you know I'm coming through. As you on the outside, what you gonna do? Would you drift for me?
We're gonna drift for you.
Now would you drift for me?
We're gonna drift for you.